Gonna practice my reading, woman. I'm gonna come down from the mountain, gonna get me a library card. 'Cause I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. Lord knows that I am. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. Lord knows I am. Gonna come down from the mountain, gonna beat you at Scrabble, woman. Gonna come down from the mountain, gonna read the dictionary. Cause I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. Lord knows that I am. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain, I'm a man. I'm a mountain man. Lord knows I am.
All right, guys, welcome to the Northern Footy Show on this Sunday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Nick, I've got to tell you, before I even start my normal intro, there's already a question about you. This has never happened before where someone's already... Max Brown wants to know, where's Nick? He's here. He's live. He's staying with us. No one's ever asked a question before the show started. That's well done, Maxie. Bonners, what a massive weekend in footy. We talk about this every week, but it just seems to get bigger and bigger. There's been upsets. There's been insane amount of quality of footy going on. We've seen Bandura get within 2 points of Banyul. That's third last versus second. Absolutely insane. But Bonners, before we get to our special guest, we are making our commentary debut for MND weekend. We are doing it at Diamond Creek for a juniors versus parents fundraiser game. And I'll be honest, I've dobbed you in. We're going to line you up at full forward at some stage, either for the kids or the parents, whoever's probably in front, because we're sure you can drag them down. Are you a bit excited about that, Bonners? Getting a kick?
Yeah, I've just got to make sure that I've got to watch my mouth when I get back into the footy routine, or just the heavy panting as soon as I actually finish the warm-up. So it would be good fun to get out there. You do miss it. The boys here are still in their prime, but us boys who have probably a little bit longer in the tooth do miss these type of things. So it'll be an enjoyable day, both commentating, and if I have to get the shorts dirty, I'll get the wife to clean them later.
Well, I know that you don't. You do the washing in your house, so that's a good throw. Two other things. Podcasts. I got asked by a club the other day, how do they do podcasts? Can we help them? Can we do anything? What we have in our studio at Mill Park is the podcast and everything set up. So if any club's looking to run their own podcast, or they don't have the tools to do it, you're more than welcome to come and use our studio free whenever you like. So I just wanted to put that out to the guys as well. There's a promo that we've been running around Bonners online called Joke Off, and it's coming, and we're looking for somewhere between 4 to 8 guests to come on and tell a joke, and you come on and you win. The winner of it will get a sponsorship package for 2025. So you can be you can be anyone at the club. You can be the president. You can be a spectator. You can be a player. We've got 4 already signed up. We're looking for 4 more. Maybe these superstars sitting next to us might come on and tell a joke later. But Bonners, I have one. Do you want to hear my joke? Let's get it out of the way. Story. And Nash, Will, and Nick, you guys can judge this, okay? So there's a hitchhiker. There's a car. I've already stuffed it up. He's driving down the street, and he sees a hitchhiker, and he pulls over. And the guy's got one leg. The hitchhiker's got one leg. And what do you think he said to the hitchhiker?
It's just, I don't want to answer. I don't want to be involved in this.
Remember, he's got one leg. He said,
hop in.
Hop in. Boys, that's the level we've got here. That's all you got to.
I'd like to formally apologise to our guests and say, if you want to leave now, you're more than welcome to jump off.
I think Nick's disgusted, to be honest, but we'll get through that package and we'll talk about it a little bit further. And Nick, at least Nash gave me a fake laugh. That's better than nothing. So we'll take that. Last thing before we introduce our guests, and this relates to Nick as well. Fev is coming to town. Big Favola is going to Heidelberg West. He's going to don on the brown and gold at their past players' day on June 15 versus Fitzroy Stars. That's a huge coup for West Heidelberg, and it's great for footy. And I'm sure Fev, even in his latter years, will still be comfortable kicking some serious goals down there, which will be great. Anyway, now let's get into it. Special guest tonight, Will Cookson from Hurstbridge, who copped no lack of flack on Facebook, and by the amount of people already online, I can see, and the amount of commentary and text coming through, this is going to be a tough night for Will. We've also got Ross Licciardi. Did you like that? I've put the Italian under that, from Old Fradians, who played his 250th game on the weekend. Superstar of the competition, Nash Holmes from Montmorency joined us, and our first Mont guest this year. So thanks for coming on. And Nick Paton from Heidelberg West. And Nick, we're going to start with you. What the hell happened on the weekend? Every time I tip against you guys, you win. Now, you would have been $8 to knock off Old Eltham on the weekend. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you. You keep tipping us, so against us, we might keep winning.
Well, last time I did, I got smashed.
How did you find the game yesterday? We've spoken about Old Eltham in the last few weeks. Before that, we probably haven't, I reckon, given them enough, kudos for what they've done. But to knock them off the top team, it must be a great feeling.
No, it was a good feeling. We do match up well with them. They don't have the 19s, neither do we. So, they're limited on youths. And, last couple of years, we've won pretty well up there. So I think we've come in a bit of confidence, even though they're the top team, we still had that confidence that we can knock them off.
Look, from my perspective, let's talk about Heidelberg West is very still in the finals hunt. I'm looking at the ladder on my other screen here, and first all the way through to 8th, which is you guys. You're on 12 points. You're still in it. You're only 2 games out of the final 5. You must be. I know you have probably dropped a couple of games you thought you might have won there, but the season's still on track in a big way.
It is. I think the division is pretty competitive this year. We played Reservoir a couple of weeks ago, and they've got some pretty talented players. They're sitting at the bottom of the ladder, but they're close to knocking a team off if they're not ready for them. So I think the division is competitive, and if you bring 22 blokes ready to play, you could knock any team off, I guess.
So we're coming into the bye this week. You were saying that you get a bit of a break, couple of weeks off. How will you view the first half of the season?
We've won
would
3
it be a
games.
success?
So.
Would it be you're growing? Do you feel like you're growing into the second half of the season? How would you view it?
We've got a lot of new players, so I don't know. We've won 3 games, so it's not ideal, but we're improving every week. Mating Caro's got us, playing a certain way, and they select the team a certain way. Just people need to buy into it a little bit more, but hopefully second half of the year we can keep winning. So we'll see how we go.
Very good.
Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to keep moving because we're going to get you guys all involved. But your bio reads pretty well here, Nick, I've got to tell you. Let me go through it for you. So 230 games, skipper this year, 84 goals, and 76 times you've been in the best player. At 230 games under your sleeve, Nick, how many years you got left in you? Have you got 5 more seasons of this in you at least?
I don't think I played 230 games.
That's what it says online. Someone's doctored it up for you. Just take the credit. If you can learn anything out of today, I take credit for everything I didn't do.
Yeah, I don't know if I played that many games. I haven't even played 50 at West at the moment. So.
Have you had a concussion recently and you've forgotten you had 230 games? Player HQ's got you at 230.
I'll take it. It might be the junior career as well then.
Yep. Might have plugged them all in. Anyway, let's move on. What I want to do is quickly get through a brief of all of you, and then we'll just get to open mic type question. I want to introduce Ross Licciardi, putting my best Italian voice on. How'd I go there, Ross? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's good. Very good.
captain of the seconds, played your 250th game yesterday, 44 career goals, and in the best 43 times. Welcome to the show, mate. Thanks for coming on. This shows everybody it's not just about the first. We'll get second stars on as well. You had a huge win yesterday against Epping by 47 points. You're in the best. 250 games is a huge milestone, mate, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good win.
I've had a chat to Benny Turner now. You've got the 250 under the belt. I'm as an old Paradian boy, I can't keep watching these blue jumpers. Is there a chance you can actually get along with Benny Turner and get that beautiful green and purple back on the screens that we get and we love so much?
Well, we actually used to wear the green ones in the VAFAs probably about 5 years ago, but a lot of the younger boys want to change it back to the blue. I actually prefer the green, me personally. So,
there's no traditionalist, mate.
Sorry?
There's no traditionalist. That's the problem with footy.
Yeah. We do wear it as a class strip now, so I enjoy it when we do wear it then. But, yeah, you have to speak to a lot of younger boys. They don't like the green one. They think it's too plain.
I'll get them on.
Ross, tell me how you're finding the captaincy this year. Is this your first year captaining or you're backing up?
It's my first year captaining the twos. It's probably my first year, to be honest, playing twos in a fair while. Yeah, it's okay. I'm lucky to co-captain with one of my best mates, Christopher Shepherd. So I just let him do all the talking, and I just stand in the background. And I don't really do much, to be honest, as the captain. I just try to lead by example on the field.
I got an opportunity to come down and watch the game against the Fitzroy Stars, and probably one of the best ending to a seconds game I've seen in my life. You tried every possibility to kick points to win it by, the old soccer way of 1 point at a time, but kicking a goal after the siren was probably one of the great things of local footy, and it really did set up the day.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That was actually the second week in a row that happened to us because we did the week before against Ivanhoe. And the bloke who kicked a goal for against Fitzroy Stars is actually a bit of a cult hero, Scoop. Not many people expect him to kick that one, but he was fairly confident in himself, and he did, which good result for us.
All right, we're gonna come back to you. We're gonna get to the guy with the coolest name in football, Nash Holmes. Can't argue with that. It's a ripper of a name. But 263 games, 300 goals. He has been in the best Bonners 48% of games he's played in his life. They're 84-point winners on the weekend over McLeod, fourth on the ladder, and in a tight season, I've got to tell you, Nash, it is going to be a tough Division 1 to get there. You beat my Bulls earlier in the year, which was a close game for most of the day too. You guys got to be happy with how you're going in a tight season. It's tough.
Yeah, definitely happy with how we're going. Sitting 4-3, so it's a very even comp at the moment. We're a little bit disappointed that we lost the 2 in a row to Hursty and Banyul, but credit to them, they played really well. But yeah, it's going to be a good year, and it's going to be interesting to see who goes all the way this year because I think there's good 2 or 3 teams that can definitely win it.
Now, just going to your ground, I remember back in the day when you used to head down to Monty, and there used to be a lovely hill where you got a fair bit of information about your family background when you're having shots at goal. Is that still alive and well? Or
The fans still get a bit lippy down there, that's for sure. So, no, that definitely hasn't changed. So, all good and well there.
Well, you're only 3 games off top of the ladder, and the games you've lost, Nash, as you said, Banyul, Hurstbridge, who are both ahead of you now, and Heidelberg. I mean, you haven't lost to anyone, under that, and you've played a lot of the hard sides. This gives time for the sides to set now and get ready. Bonners, I know, constantly works on a little list, but it's changing every week. Who's who in this zoo? This is going to be so hard to pick this year because I'm looking at the ladder on the other screen, and I think everyone down as far as I'm going to get killed for this, but I think everyone down as far as Bundoora can still make finals. It's that tight. We've seen Bundoora go down by 2 points yesterday, 8th on the ladder versus Banyul that was second. This is going to be a hell of a season. How do you think Mont's gelling? This year you're playing some kids in there, Nash, aren't you?
Yeah. No, we've been gelling pretty well. Like we're having probably 4 or 5 changes, every week, which is challenging. We've got a new coach, we've got some new players and stuff. So we've had some ups and downs, but I think we're gelling really well. We just now just the keys to keep that continuity going with the playing group and sort of keep that core playing group together and connected as long as we can, and hopefully we can go a long way.
Yep.
I just read that comment. I'm getting, I love a good set of calves. I've been told mine are baby cows, so it's good to join the actual thing there, Ross. I'm really enjoying that. So I'm not by myself, which is really, really good. Just a quick question, Nick. How's going into the second half of the season? You've got a good stable start. Are there things that you'd like to really work on when you get a bit of a break to try and, I guess, just bridge that gap between yourselves and the top 2 or 3?
We just want to keep probably working on our ball movement and and just in the backup as well, just setting up our defence so allows them to stop the ball moving out pretty easy and stuff like that. So we've got a few things we'll work on and a few things to tighten up for sure. Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to Nash as well in a sec. We'll get through this because I can see some good banter about to happen on the show tonight. Our final guest sent Facebook into meltdown last night, and he's also sent the little comment section. He's copping some grief here, but so is Nash, so is Ross, and Nick's getting some compliments. So he's obviously not pissed enough people off yet. But let's get to the very classy Will Cookson. He has more fans than Bonners on here, and this is why: 216 games, 176 goals, 97 of those 216 games he's been in the best. Facebook lovers say he's already been to the gym 20 minutes before the show to pump the arms up. That's what we're saying. He's done a morning workout and he's done an arms workout just before he comes on.
A few push-ups.
He's the star, to be honest, at Hurst Bridge, where they have made it clear a flag is achievable. Bonners and Will, you have set yourself to be second on the ladder as we just finished round 7 for you guys. Will, welcome to the show, and you got to be bloody happy with the way you're travelling.
Yeah, thanks for having me firstly. Extremely happy with how we're going. It's been a great start to the year.
We talk about statement games, and I think on the weekend there was one of those games that was we kind of had it 50-50 ourselves against Greensey, and to come out and win, but not just win, but win convincingly, really starts to, you've been close with some of the top teams. You've really had a crack this year, and I guess that's one of the games where you sit back and say, we can actually, knock it with the best.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like ever since the West Preston game, our connectivity as a team's been really, really positive and really, really good. And we think we can challenge any team. But in saying that, you got to come willing to play against every team because, as you're saying, Daz, it is a freaking tough competition, very close, even between the bottom side and the top side. Anyone can win on their day, so...
And that seems to be across the board. To be honest, I got a heap of notes in front of me. Every Sunday morning, I get up and I do a couple of hours of study for the show and try and have a look at who's coming and who's going. But it's the same in every division, isn't it, Bonners? I mean, I see Nick knocking off Old Eltham. I said to him before the show, he would have been 8-1. To get across the line there. They had a couple of players out, but the young kids stand up. Young Max Brown's playing really well, and you've got two debutants. Nick, was it 2 this week you had?
Yeah, two young blokes. So
I had to ask you a question because Michael Misson keeps insinuating you won't speak much, so I've got to lead you, he reckons, mate. But so you got debutants coming through. I see Nash's Montmorency. You got young. Flynn Riley coming through. He's a baby. It helps that he's 17 feet tall, but he's a baby. He still weighs about 8 kilos drinking wet, but I've never seen so many kids getting their first game, Will, in local footy this year. And you've got your fair share of kids coming through and standing up as well.
Yeah, plenty. We got plenty of young kids coming through. At a call, we're actually really young. I was looking around in the midfield yesterday. I was the oldest in there at 22. So,
wow.
Yeah, our captain's 22. We got a lot of youth coming through. It's really positive signs coming through.
Yeah. So Ross, this makes you Bonners. Ross, this makes you the old man of this show. You'll feel comfortable with me and Bonners, maybe, but I mean, even you guys must be bleeding the kids, Ross.
Yeah, we've got a couple of young kids in the seniors play at the moment. We've got Rufus Jones, who I think is barely 18, Noah Whittle, and they don't look out of place at all when they're playing senior football. And personally, I love watching them play because seeing them play, especially someone like Rufus, so young, playing down back on the bigger blokes, it's really impressive.
Yeah. No, great.
Question to you, Ross. We've spoken to a few of your guys, and the question I always ask is, how have you found the transition to the Northern Footy League? By, it's different football, different crowds. You tend to get a lot more in local footy in the Northern Footy League. So how have you seen the transition across, and have you enjoyed the new competition?
Yeah, I definitely have. The transition's been good. It actually feels we're part of something more than what we were in the previous league. We feel more part of the community. People getting around us, not even just with the crowd, just like things like this show, even with the podcast for the Northern League as well. Just people talking about us. The crowd is awesome. So, like, even at our reserves game yesterday, there's more people at our reserves games than what there were at senior games last year. So, yeah, it's definitely, I've loved every second of it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into Division 3 results very quickly, lads, and we can all have a bit of a chin wag as they're scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But so we've seen, obviously, Old Paradians yesterday defeat Epping. What was it, 13-12, 90 to Epping, 10-14. That was a ripper of a game. And, I mean, you got two guys fighting it out. Old Paradians, in all honesty, Ross, early in the year, BT was saying, we've just got to find our feet this year and get used to the comp. I think yous are doing a little bit better than that.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy to see how good the seniors are going. It's I'm just happy there's a lot of blokes like who played in the VAFA last year, like Marcus Nolan, things like that, finally getting the recognition they deserve. I'm pretty, I thought at the start of the year, I thought we were going to go pretty well. We all gelled pretty well to get in the practice matches. So, yeah.
And then we see Old Eltham Collegians obviously defeated by Heidelberg West. No one would have picked that. 3 points. Nick, it must have been a blinder. How was the ticker going in the last couple of minutes?
It was a bit nervous. We had a couple of shots on goal the last probably 2 minutes. I was a bit worried. McCafe had a shot, missed it, thankfully. So, it was a bit stressful in the last couple of minutes.
A question to Nick and Ross. You boys have played pretty much every team now, so we've done the full rotation, or have we got one left?
We've got Stars and Laylaw to play.
Well, of the teams you've played, who are the ones that have actually impressed you the most?
Old Parade were pretty good. They jumped us early and we weren't really ready for them, and credit to them. They had some pretty good runners in their team. I don't know. Epping, they weren't bad. They were undermanned. They touched us up a little bit. So Mernda, obviously, another good side. They're all pretty. Everyone's pretty, even par in Division 3 at the moment. So it takes 22 blokes to win.
It's a tough. I'll power through these last couple of results. Kilmore went down by 2 points to Mernda in a thriller down at Kilmore. King Lake, 184, got their season's first win. 184 points to 73 against Reservoir. Hard to beat at King Lake generally, but that gets their season going. That should fill them with a bit of confidence. With 49 scoring shots, and Fitzroy Stars, for me, the ones that just keep pushing and 13-12-90 defeated Ivanhoe, who Bonners keep saying struggles to kick the big scores, 10-8-68. I'm looking at a lot of the other sides in the other divisions here as we summarise the end of Division 3. What is it, Bonners? You reckon you got to kick what? To be a finals contender, what do you reckon you got to be kicking?
Well, the teams closest to 100 are going to be the ones that you have to beat. So I think only once Ivanhoe's kicked over 90 or something points. So for me, the teams that with such a running game now and such, big expanse, you play at Preston in the finals. If you're not kicking 100 points, it's a lot more difficult to get the win. And I'm seeing that in Division 3 all the time. The ones who are kicking higher scores are the ones that continually seem to win the games. And those who are between the 50s and 80s are up and down. So it was always my knock on Ivanhoe, and I think they're a fantastic defensive side, but you still got to kick those goals.
Yeah. I agree. I think that that'll be the bit they've got to improve on. But, Fitzroy Stars, as I said, they continue to power ahead. For me, if they have their best side on the park, they're hard to beat. And so are Moonda. Moonda's got some big stars coming back in the next couple of weeks. Nipper Marshall will come back. I think young Kyle Yankos made a return via the twos yesterday to get some time into the feet after such a long break, and they've got a pile of other stars to come back. But jeepers, it's even, and I think anyone in that top 8 area can still win it. We'll jump very quickly in Division 2 because there's going to be a lot of chat about Division 1 here, and we'll try and get Will and Nash to punch on at some stage online and start slandering. We'll make it into a big game to get that going. But we've got Division 2, Northcote Park, 14-5-89, who led Bonners for most of the day for the first 3 quarters. Went down to South Morang 17-12-114. South Morang had to fight back there, but they did. They powered ahead, and that's what good sides are going to do. They've got to get the chocolates when it's time to get it. Lorimer 10-10-70 went down to St Mary's by a point. Jimmy will be throwing the toys out of the cot there, I reckon, because they had the game. They were in front all day, and it's just that last couple of minutes. But credit to Lorimer as well, because Lorimer's probably second last on the ladder, come up against St Mary's, who are right up there. Look how even it is. 1 point, bottom of the ladder and top of the ladder, and we'll get to that with some of the other sides. Thomastown defeated Panton Hill 74-45, which we expected. Whittlesea in the battle of the undefeated boys, 12-15, 27 scoring shots there to Whittlesea, defeated Diamond Creek 11-6-72. At home, it is a good advantage for them down at Whittlesea, but they've made a statement there. Boys, what do you reckon? That's a huge one. Good chat. I'll be live TV. Bonners, lead us.
Well, what do you want me to say? You've done all the results. I think that the second division's one where I reckon South Morang have kind of hit a bit of a snag in the middle of the year. They had a loss and then a couple in a row, so it's a bit of a lull for them. The St Mary's one did surprise me. I thought they're the ones that were definitely the ones to go through. But I think most of Division 1, 2 and 3 make us look stupid, and we don't really need much help doing that. But every week we pick a team and we think they're going to do it easy. The other team comes over the top and wins. So it's football. Football this year in the Northern Footy Leagues is probably the best it's been in a long, long time, because you're 5% off and you can go down to any team.
There is one more side there. Lower Plenty drew with Watsonia. 10-17 Lower Plenty. Plenty of opportunity there. 27 scoring shots against Watsonia. 11-11-77, but well done. A draw. I think someone might have tipped the draw. I have to have a look at that. That was an amazing result there, but good on them. Now, I'm going to jump. I'm rushing through these. I'll tell you why I'm going to jump through Division 1, because I've got a lot of questions for these boys about Div 1. Let's get straight into it. Greensborough, who in my opinion I expected this to be a belter of a game, Will. Going into the game, surely you didn't think this was going to be a 60-plus point victory?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And it didn't feel like that at all during the game. Like, obviously we put some more pressure on them, but the actual contest was pretty hot. Walked off the ground knowing I played a game of footy. So the scoreboard can be maybe a bit misleading in that sense. But, we got ourselves up for that game. Knew that it was like an 8-point match. So big result for us, yeah.
Where did you think you got them? Because I've watched them a few weeks ago, and their on-ball team, the way they get it to the outside was impressive. So were you able to shut that down? Were you just able to rebound a lot better off half-back? Is there a point where you sat there and go, we probably had the better of him in this area, and you tried to ram home the advantage?
Actually, in the midfield, I think we actually did get on top of him. Zach Rycar was massive for us in the midfield. Blake Fitzgerald getting 30 every week. Mitch Machete, classy. When it did go on our back line, though, our rebound defenders, Lee Mildens, Mitch Hymas, unbelievable. But the way they get the ball out and get speed on the ball for us, get into our forwards, is just, is really good. And our key... our key position forwards, when us midfielders look up, kicking it to them is, it's always a welcome sight. Even if you know you just kick it, they're going to grab it. So, I think we just bet him. We bet him across the board by maybe 5% across the board. But which was ended in that result for us. So.
I reckon plenty Valley FM tipped, most of them tipped Greensy. One of them might have been Nicholas, tipped you guys. I think I've got that right. But I didn't expect it to be that big of a difference, although I did tip you the other night, Will. I thought you'd get the chocolates. I watched you guys play at Bundy, and I thought you just moved the ball very quickly and direct. And I think for me, Bonners in some of these sides I'm watching, sides that stuff around with the ball too much out wide. And I know it's a hatred of Bonners to see that wing overly used. I just thought you guys went down direct a lot that game, and I reckon that's a bit of the key. We'll come back to you. Bundura played Banyul. I was at this game, 11-12-78, defeated by Banyul, 11-14, 82 points. Let me tell you, for a side that's down, I think, third last on the ladder, Bundura, they've only had one win against West Preston. Gee, it would have been a big day to get the chocolates over Banyul, but they got a lot of kids. They're going through a bit of a rebuild. And I've got to tell you, it was a good game, and Banyul played really well as well. But oh my God, guys, if you're on top of the ladder like Nash and Will, you are in the finals, it's got to be a bit nerve-wracking, Nash, when you come up against one of these sides down the bottom, especially a rebuild side where you don't know how it's going to go. There's no easy games, Nash, would you agree?
Yeah, 100% agree. You know, if you're off, 10, 15 minutes, I find if you're off the game, teams can come and take those 4 points off you. So you got to be on from the start. So, there's definitely no easy games, which is great to see for the competition in the league.
Yeah. My old man was at that game, Bonners, and he said to me, this is the quickest game of footy I've actually seen this year. The speed of that first half of that game yesterday, Bonners, was lightning. And you could probably ask Caro, good mate of yours, who probably tell you, the first half was played at an unbelievable pace.
Well, that's what's changed, I think, with footy now. You're talking about with Will, how quickly they move the footy. As you say, my pet hate is kicking this ball to the side when you've got so many blokes up forward. The quicker you get the ball into the forward line, the one-on-ones you have, and there's a lot of big boys in local footy now up forward. So if you're going to get them one-on-one, there's not too many defenders that can stop a lot of these guys. So the quicker the movement, the better it is. And I'm hoping the change and the confidence Bundura will get, and I'll give a big shout out to King. He wasn't impressed with me on Wednesday, so I think the way of football now is the quicker you get the ball into the forward line, and then you just keep it in. That's the way of football in the modern era.
Yeah, and Nick, you would even find that Division 3, the quality of players that are playing Division 3 who are still Divi 1 really eligible easily to go and have a kick up there, you must have noticed the change of the speed of the game this year.
Yeah, it's a big difference. I think there's 5 players that have been AFL listed before playing Division 3. I don't think that's happened before in Northern Footy League. Yeah. So, but there's a lot of good talent that's come down from Division 1 and 2, and making Division 3 a pretty competitive comp at the moment.
Yeah,
and that would be like with you, Ross. There's an average footballer named that's come down from Heidelberg to play at your footy club, just gets a kick now and again. That must be increasing the standards of the footy club down there.
Yeah, Sam, he's a pretty good player sometimes.
Sometimes gets a kick now and again. So
gets like watching just watching his ruck work, him tapping it down to himself and just running and kicking to the forward.
I'm going to start a rumour, Bonners, that he was very heavily funded by a lot of the other top sides in Division 1 to get him down to old Brady to get him out of the league so they could win the old ruck. But then we go to McLeod, 2-11-23. We're defeated by Nash's Montmorency, 14-23, 107. Nash, that's a smashing. That's a good old-fashioned smashing.
Yeah, it was a good game. We probably could have heard him a bit more on the scoreboard. We let ourselves down a bit, but it was good. It was a good day after the lads, that's for sure.
Wow.
Got a question for you there, and for everyone as well. What's happened to goal kicking? I feel like every week there's twice as many points as goals a lot of the time. So are we not, is there a reason why it's all changed? Or do
FYI, this is a backman asking the question. It's a backman asking
I never
the question.
missed. That's the point. Every time I went down there, I kicked a goal, but I just didn't get down there too often. But it just seems like there's a lot of, like you said, Nash, that you have great opportunities to put teams away, and you just hope that doesn't kind of cost you in one of the games.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know what it goes down to, maybe a bit of mindset. I reckon some players don't have a technique with set shots, which is a bit interesting to me. But you have your days, and some days you don't. So probably comes down to a bit of a mindset as well. So
Nick, Nashy, it's all about the fans. Do you know Nicholas well?
The lads are carrying on a fair bit here. I know Nicholas. He wants me to give him a bit, but I'll shut that down for now.
We'll come back to it. We'll continue with those results. Eltham 8-9-57 defeated by North Heidelberg. That's about where I expected it to be. Bonners 40 points.
Yep, pretty much. I think that's a reflection of where both teams are at. And
that other side that's pretty inconsistent, Heidelberg 26-13, 169. Look, they gave out a proper smacking as well, over 100 points to West Preston, 9-10, 64. But, to be fair to West Preston, Heidelberg's just something amazing at the moment. Absolutely amazing, boys. As both Will and Nash, you've both played Heidelberg. Oh, you haven't, Will?
Nah, not yet. We versed him June 15, round 9 at our oval. Yeah, we're really looking forward to the challenge. So
that'll be the test. Nash, how did you find Vin's army?
Yeah, they were very good. They were strong. They love to attack the corridor. They surge the footy. They move the ball pretty well. So they're very well drilled and well skilled side. So they'll definitely go deep into the year, I think.
So let me ask you, boys, so that we're through the results there. If you had to all tip someone to win a flag and you're not allowed to tip your own side from your own division right now, who wins it? We'll start with you, Nick.
Probably Old Parade or Mernda, I reckon.
Probably that's called having 50 cents each way. Pick me one winner. Nick, give me one.
Old Parade, I reckon. They fucking touch us up a fair bit.
Yeah, and I think you could be onto something there, Ross.
Oh, we haven't played Eltham or Mernda yet, so I'm going to have to say off who have played, probably Fitzroy Stars.
Fitzroy Stars. Yeah. They're pretty strong. If they get that full side going, God help you, I reckon there. Cookie, what do you got for us? Can't tip yourself?
I won't tip myself. It has to be Heidelberg. Until someone beats them, then it has to be Heidelberg no matter what.
Yep, I tend to agree with that. And Nashi?
Yeah, same as Will. Yeah, Heidelberg, they're the team to beat. Yeah,
sure. How could you tip against them? I mean, I played in a side many moons ago where we didn't lose a game all year. We were absolute confident as hell going into the first final, and we got rolled. And then we won and made a granny and got rolled again. Sometimes that comes with a lot of pressure, not dropping a game to find your faults through the year. And I know Vin's running a pretty serious footy factory down there, but, sometimes a loss can benefit you. Vin may not agree with that either. But, I tell you what, they're not putting too many foots wrong, but there's been a couple of close ones. I mean, they're beatable. There's no doubt because everyone's beatable on their day, Bonners. You would have played against sides like this as well. How would you, if you're going into a game, Bonners, against, actually, here you go, give Will a free tip. You know Vin pretty well, very, very well. How does he beat Vin?
Well, you got to watch the Vin Tolly walk. If he starts to kick the ground and cross his arms, walk along the boundary, I think you've got Heidelberg under control. So he's angry's face. But the one thing with Heidelberg is that they love contested footy and they love to move the ball forward. For me, if I'm stopping Heidelberg, there's one bloke I'm actually stopping, and that's KP. I think every game that he's played, the ball comes out so easy from his left foot, and he's the general that, Vinny likes to have the bloke down the back that passes the ball out. But the way he moves the ball out of their back line is second to none. And to be honest, it's probably, if you had a look at the stats on how many score involvements, to me, he is, you've got great on ballers, but to me, he's the one that really, I guess, is the link that puts it all together.
All you boys are copping an even amount of smack here on this tonight. You're copping it pretty hard, and I see Nash looking down regularly. I reckon his phone's going off. He's going to run out of batteries. He's copping a bit of hardness now, boys. So you've tipped who it's going to be. I don't want to focus on who's going to be relegated, but at the end of this year, a good side's going to be relegated. A couple of good sides are going to be relegated. McLeod just haven't hit their straps yet, but they're only you know, they're on 0 points, but so is Eltham and so is Bundoora. So, I mean, someone's going to get that upset win, like Bundy nearly upset Banyul yesterday. Who's your feared side on the bottom, Nick? Like, I'm having a look at Division 3 here. It's so tight. I mean, Reservoir, you would probably back yourself, but they're going to have a day out. They've actually started to start games really well.
Reservoir aren't far off it. We haven't played Laylaw yet, but from last year, it looks like they've improved a hell of a lot. So can't underestimate them. You know, we're sitting, you know, at the bottom there somewhere. So, you know, I guess other teams got to look out for us as well. So hopefully we can knock a couple of teams off and see where the year goes for us.
Yeah, and that's that's definitely what happens. You guys, you know, you're sitting 8th on the ladder. In saying that, you're only You're only 4 points off being in the top 5. That's how close it is, Nick. It's going to be Division 3 at the start of the year, as Bonners and I have said so many times. It's just probably the harder one to pick. Heidelberg's dominant. Doesn't guarantee them a flag, but they're dominant. There's always someone coming to get you. In Division 2, you got Whittlesea, who came down, maybe didn't look shaky at the start, but they've taken a couple of weeks to settle, even though they got those close ones over the line. South Morang, as Bonner said, have had to resettle. But if you start getting down to the bottom of the ladder, you got Northcote Park. Northcote Park's kicked more last quarter goals than anybody else in the league. And you know, they were in it with South Morang till 3/4 time. There's no – Lorem has nearly knocked off St Mary's on the weekend. I mean, I just can't pick it, you know. Nash, let me ask you this. Who is the best up-and-coming junior who's playing seniors? Is it Flynn Riley at the moment? Is there someone else that's just absolutely impressing you? You've played at a higher level. You understand these kids. They must love your support. But who's impressing you?
Yeah, Flynn Riley. He's definitely he's growing each week. He's dominating. So he's only a young fella, but he's going to be. I think he's going to be a star, and he's a great kid. And we're just trying to keep getting around him and keep learn him, teach him and stuff. And then Steph Usual, I reckon he's he's a star. He's a bit older, like 22, 23, I think. But he's an absolute star. I love playing with him. I reckon he could nearly be on AFL. He's a gun. So
he's pretty close, isn't he? I think he's been talked to a few times, and you know he's got to fill out a little bit because he's very stringy. But jeepers, you've got some stars coming through that Montmorency side. I honestly think Mont Hurstbridge on their day could beat Heidelberg. I just think that you are getting to see each other a couple of times, and it's important. Who from a more senior player there, Nash, is your go-to man you can trust? You know, who do you?
Marcus Lantanio, I played with a bit at Port. He's my little go-to man that I love playing with him. But I've only played a few games with him because he's hurt his foot at the moment. But there's a few more as well. Ahan up forward, he's a gun player as well, and even some young boys, Nick Green in the midfield. Love working with him. So there's all the boys are great to work with and love to lean on. So
Question for you, Will. You've seen you've been one of the teams that kind of floated in the past up between Division 1, Division 2. You took a couple of seasons to get settled in Division 1. I think Banyul's in the same way. You see how they've grown as well. What would you say to some of the teams coming up? I mean, how do you continually grow to go from coming into Division 1 to actually, pushing for finals?
Well, it helps when you have a president like Baz.
Yeah.
He can get blokes in the club that you wouldn't even thought of before. Just sticking fat as well. Like everyone just having a vision together to get better. Like when I first went to Hurstbridge, we were fighting relegation between the 8 to 10 mark. And now it's all starting to flourish as a team. And glad I stuck around. All the boys have stuck around and really, really come to fruition now.
And it's a lot to do with recruiting, isn't it? We spoke to a mate of mine, loves to shout how well he does recruiting at Banyul. So it's always helpful, as you said, your president can get a few blokes down. It must be a lot easier when you're in Division 1 to attract a lot of these players.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a club I want to be at forever, though. Like, love playing at Hurstbridge. If you just get in the door there, Like, it's just a place you love being. You love going there every Tuesday, Thursday, staying back every Saturday. It's just a place you want to be. So, yeah.
A bit of a destination club it's becoming for sure, Will. Ross, explain. What have you done?
Nah, it wasn't me. Allegedly, somebody yesterday when they were during the seniors game was driving out of a Garvey and got a bit distracted watching the game and crashed into the fence and just sped off. So can't.
It's the only picket fence in the league, I think. So go easy on it. They're gonna have to chill out a little bit here. Now, I'm not sure whose friend Daniel is, but he's after an autograph. Oh, it's for Will. Who else? Yeah. Is he loving you there, Will? Oh, my God. I've never seen so many questions in my life. Now, next Wednesday night, Bonners, because we're getting very close to the 45-minute mark, which I'm trying to monitor here. We could speak to these lads all day. But Wednesday night, we have two stars coming in to see us in the studio. We've got your good mate, Kane Proctor. He's coming in to talk to us. And we've also got Kyle Green from Thomastown coming in. So that'll be an awesome Wednesday night ahead. Last Wednesday night, we obviously had Sue Stanley and Sean Smith in, which was awesome. And we I got to tell you, we had Sam Newman in the studio as well. And having Sam sit literally 1 meter in front of me and stare at me like this while I was watching the show, it was a little bit intimidating. But we met him after the show, didn't we, Bonners? He was a fantastic guy. And, Bonners enjoyed his company a lot. He's really, really good. Nice fellow, wasn't he?
He was a very nice fellow. The whole show, I've had a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine in the health industry, and I've actually got a lot of people sending text messages to say what a great message it was. It was very well done by, I think Sue Stanley's probably one of those ones that has done an in-depth analysis in it. You've got Sean Smith, who's kind of lived it as well. I just thought it was probably one of my favourite shows, just to talk about things that really need to be spoken about. Not so much in the AFL circles, but a lot of we want kids to play local footy. We want everyone to get back to footy as soon as possible, but we want it done as safely as possible. So getting that information out to get checked, I thought, it was one of the great shows I think we've done. Having Sam there, as I said, just nonchalantly writing on his notepad while we're trying to run a show was always interesting. But it was a really good experience. He was a lovely guy, and willing to have a chat.
It was great. And tomorrow night we have the women's footy show, which polled unbelievably last week. It had over 2,000 individual views. The girls love getting on, having a chat. So Kira and Liv will fire that up again tomorrow night. I'm not sure who their guests are yet, but they're working on some special stuff in the background. Gents, before I let you go, firstly, thank you so much for coming on to all of you. I know you're busy and giving up 45 minutes on your Sunday night, which is a bit of family or girlfriend or wife time, or probably just girlfriend and family time. If your wife's there, that's why you stayed on. But it's fantastic that you've joined us, Nash. You're having an outstanding season, and I keep hearing nonstop how special a player you are, and I haven't been down to watch you yet. Yes, I did. Sorry, first game against Bundy. But mate, when you come up against Bundy, if you could just take it off a little bit, just go on the bench for half a game, have a cruisy afternoon. I think by the time we get around to you next time, we should be a bit stronger as well.
Yeah, mate, no worries. I'll take it easy.
And Will, mate, you've sent everything in a meltdown here. I'm not sure. I reckon it was pretty even out here today. Who was getting a bit of the flack. Nash copped a fair bit as well, and Ross's calves kept coming up, and we can't put them all up, Ross, but we got a few questions about his fence. And Nick, as far as Michael Missing goes, you've absolutely done outstanding. You've answered every question, you've done everything, and you've knocked off top of the ladder. So you're in for a stellar season to finish the year off.
Yes, thank you for having me as well. But big year ahead, big second half of the year with Fed coming up. So can't wait for that.
Yeah. That's massive. It's going to be a big day down there. You will have seen I whacked up the General Chicken Co. in the top right-hand corner of our show, who are sponsoring our women's show and very responsible for getting the big Fev down there. Get down there, some unbelievable chicken. Everybody, until next week, keep kicking goals, and thanks for coming on, and we'll speak to you all later.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.